It's the first of the month.
Yeah.
One nation under the gun.
Under the wall.
Yeah. One nation under the gun.
Wake up. It's the first of the month.
Yeah.
Hope in my pocket, smoking my lungs. Free all the leaves. Run to the preacher. Tell him the victory's already won. Call the collector. Scramble my funds. One nation under the gun.
Under the wall.
Scratching and surviving. Stretching and remixing. They thought all this game was free. I made them pay attention. I can't seem to get away, get away, get away. Land of the free.
Moving low key and dodging the fit. Scars on my heart, but the gold's in my head. From the Bay to LA, I'm carrying the weight. They love you, they hate you, that's how they gon' play. 1600 where the powers of flex. Writing my story, no edits, no stress. Been on the block, all I know is the snakes. They plotting on my moves and they raising the stakes. Hopes in my vein, but the system's amazed. Every step that I take and it feels like a haze. Stretching my blessing, trying to dub, but my win. Lost some homies in the game, now I'm praying for them. They taxing my soul, but I'ma keep it real. Sign my name on the dotted line, blood on the deal. From the block to the White House, dodging all these traps. Got my city on my back, put my pain in the rap. Now I'm back on the grind and I'm running up the score. They thought I fall off, now I'm kicking down the door. Got the money in the pocket and the smoke in the air. Every move that I make them stop instead. 1600 where the power resides. Speaking my truth, let it light up the sky. Free my dog, let the preacher say grace. Every scar on my soul is a story to trace.
Wake up. It's the first of the month. Hope in my pocket, smoking my lungs. Free all the leaves. Run to the preacher. Tell him the victory's already won. Call the collector. Scramble my funds. One nation under the gun.
Under the wall.
Scratching and surviving, stretching and remixing. They thought all this game was free, I made them pay attention. I can't seem to get away, get away, get away. Land of the free.
Move through the dark where the power's concealed. Every promise they make is part of the deal. Got hope on the chest and the weight on my back. In the land of the free and the chains on my back. They ain't watching my steps, trying to box my glow. I'm dodging these snakes, keep my eyes on the goal. 1600 where the truth gets blurred. I'm speaking my pain, every bar, every word. From the town to the Ave, I'm repping my roots. Turn my losses into lessons, now I'm flipping that truth. Preacher said it's done, but the war's still alive. I'm the king of my fate, watch you thrive and survive. I'm walking through the fire where the vipers hide. Tearing up the stage where the truth don't hide. Hope in the grip and the system's device. Making all these moves, rolling like a dice. Now I'm stretching my vision, trying to break through the lies. See the pain in the city, hear the streets when it cry. Texting my dream, trying to dim my light. But my heart's on the mission, let it burn all night. From the block to the Ave, I'm the voice of the lost. Pay the price for my freedom, never counting the cost. Preacher said that we won, but the battle's my own. In the land of the snakes, I'm building my throne.
Wake up. It's the first of the month. Hope in my pocket, smoking my lungs. Free all the leaves. Run to the preacher. Tell him the victory's already won. Call the collector. Scramble my funds. One nation under the gun.
Under the wall.
Scratching and surviving. Stretching and remixing. They thought all this game was free. I made them pay attention. I can't seem to get away, get away, get away. Land of the free. Home of the snakes.
All right. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're adjusting to the new format. We're trying something a little different. So if there's any issues in the show this morning, you know why. Today is day one. All right, but let's get this show started, ladies and gentlemen. We do not have all morning. All right, we do not have all morning. You can hear me out there. Can you hear me out there? Yes, no, maybe so. You can't hear me? Can you hear me?
It's like a curse.
Can you hear me?
Escape it.
Yes?
It's like
Thank you, all. Let's go.
it's deja vu when I'm running up these racks.
I'm like the Terminator screaming. I'll be back. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show.
First class. It's like every week
Let's go.
Take out the trash.
I'm on top of my game, ahead of the class. You can tell that I made it. Look at the grass. Let's go, ladies.
In the garage with tanks full of gas. I play the game so raw.
I won't finish last.
Sitting in my living room.
Woo.
We made it.
Bear with me, ladies and gentlemen.
When you rich and famous.
Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen.
Guess we going viral cause my Zodiac. I got all these numbers on my spreadsheet.
Hey.
Benjamin Franklin is my bestie. And if they is my ex, that mean they left me. They don't get me caught.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Thunderdome. Uh-oh. Here's our favorite part right here.
Call me the master with a new whip.
listen up. Here goes
I'ma
Zeus haters.
take off in a
Here goes.
spaceship.
I'll tell you what, I haven't gone into Zeus's live in a
It's a
couple
lie.
of days.
Uh-huh.
Shit was radical.
Of course.
It was horrible. I'm like, Zeus has gone way.
Oh, give me a break.
It's like deja vu. It's like
Bear
deja
with-
vu.
They always say that about me.
It's like deja vu. It's like deja vu.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, once again, welcome back. We are in the Thunderdome. Can you all hear me out there? Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, we are back in the Thunderdome. I'm your host. I'm your pilot. And you know exactly. Well, I'm an inspiration. Well, you're an inspiration to me. All right. Well, thank you. Listen, welcome back to the Thunderdome. I am your host. I'm your pilot. And you know exactly why we are gathered here this morning. We have to do the real work that it takes to save this great country of ours from the evil clutches of Donald J. Trump and his legion of MAGA demons, who we all know are hell-bent on destroying this great country of ours. All right. And so we do that every single day, one show at a time, and all we do is get out here and tell the truth, basically, and we shame the devil in so many ways. Many of you are familiar with what I do, but before I get into that, let's take care of some very, very important housekeeping items. For those of you, this might be your very first time tuning in to a person like myself. I'm, sensational in a way. I'm inspirational, magical, theatrical, sensational, right? And all those things, but people go, well, who are you? I go by the name Zeus, or some like to say Triple H. And why do they call me Triple H? Ladies and gentlemen, it was quite simple. And look, I got some haters out there. You could probably see them. You could probably see them all in the comment section. All right. The reason they call me Triple H is because, well, the first H is because I am honest. The second H is because I am humble. Yeah, the most humble person on social media. No, hands down. If I get it wrong, I'll be the first to apologize. But here's the thing. Just because your feelings are hurt, does that mean Big Zeus owes you an apology, ladies and gentlemen? Absolutely not. Most likely it means you need to sit your special behind down and honestly listen to the special broadcast. So I say that's the second H. But the last and the final H, ladies and gentlemen, which is arguably one of the most important H's of them all, it is honestly because I am and will always remain, you've guessed it, the most handsome. Your right headset is not working. Jesus Christ, ladies and gentlemen, bear with me. Hold on, we're testing. Hold on, bear with us. Hold on. Don't bear with me, ladies and gentlemen. We're getting things straightened out over here. Oh my gosh. Let me see. Let's see. Well, looks like maybe I need to do this. How about now? Is that better? Can you hear me now? I'm just double checking. Can you hear me now? You can hear Big Zeus? Yeah. I see some people saying the mic is on, then some say it's not. All right, okay. All right, W to the chat. Well, I'm learning. Obviously, I'm using TikTok Studio. Bear with me. All right, now, like I was saying, many of you know what we do. We hold a mirror up to Donald Trump and his legion of MAGA demons, who we all know are hell-bent on destroying this it was a once great country. We were on the verge, honestly, ladies and gentlemen, we were on the verge of living up to our promises. And then, these hypocrites, these liars, these, I call them seditionists, treasonous traitors, MAGA, the far right movement. I always say this, and you can quote me on it. All right. MAGA stands for racism. You saw what he did with Obama over the weekend, right? So that's the racism and it's misogyny. You hear how Donald Trump yells at all these women reporters, quiet piggy. Someone really should tell Donald Trump. Someone really should tell that to Donald Trump and his supporters. Whenever his supporters start talking, that's the first thing that pops up in my head. I say, why don't we just start talking to his supporters like he talks to us, like he talks to the rest of the world, right? And so you go further right, you get into sedition. You know what I'm talking about? January 6th. They don't ever want to bring it up, but I bring up January 6th every chance I get. And this is the thing, MAGA. You always want me to stop talking about your daddy. Should we stop talking about Donald Trump, ladies and gentlemen in the chat? Should we stop talking about Donald Trump? Should we stop talking about him on this show? Because these folks, they hate when I do it, but I'll talk about him. All right? No. Thank you all. No. Thank you. All right. And then you go further right, because remember, we were already at misogyny and racism. But then you go further right, you get into sedition, January 6th. And if you go even further right, you end up in the Epstein file territory, right? P3DOs to the max. These folks, I remember when that ridiculous movie Sounds of Freedom came out. I never went to go watch it, but all of my critics, all of my detractors, they got on TikTok. Oh, you need to go see it. And I've done so much work to protect kids, and they know who they are. And now where we're at right now, Thomas Massey, I hear, is going to go in and actually take a look at what's in those files, and we'll talk about the files, all right? But it just really bothers me that we live in a country where these folks know that they voted for a con artist, a convicted, adjudicated rapist, and then they put him in the White House. The country's going down the drain, and you ask them what's going on, and all they got is Joe Biden. It makes absolutely no sense, and it really irritates me. And so that's why I have to do shows like this. As reluctant as I don't want to sometimes. I don't want to do the show, but you got to do it in order to save this great country. And so with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, let me go ahead and ask the question of the day, right? Because these people, they like to report me. Can you believe this? These people on TikTok, they like to report me. I've been doing this for years, and they know how I get down. Are there any Trump supporters out there in this live right now? I just wanted to say something. If you're a Trump voter and you're watching this live right now, you're listening to the show, leave right now, because it's going to get very, very uncomfortable for you in here. I promise you it will. But get this, you don't got to take my word for it. Listen to your leader.
If you're not happy here, then you can leave. As far as I'm concerned, if you hate our country, if you're not happy here, you can leave. If you're not happy in the U.S., if you're complaining all the time, very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now. Come back if you want. Don't come back. It's okay too. But if you're not happy, you can leave.
All right. All right, you all can hear me still correctly, because we're trying a new format, so bear with me, all right? I just wanted to make sure, keep me honest in the chat, ladies and gentlemen, and also feel free to send me DMs, all right, because I'm trying to adjust, and a lot of this is just uncharted territory. So my question of the day, well, first things first is how many of you what are you doing? How many of you watched the Super Bowl? How many of you watched the Super Bowl? Oh, you said I sound wonderful. Well, you look wonderful. Thank you so much. That feels so good. You watched the Super Bowl? Yeah, it was amazing, right? Let me see if I can, we're trying something new. Hold on. We're going to see if we could get some clips from the Super Bowl over here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see if this works, ladies and gentlemen. Please bear with me. All right. We're going to, because, normally I have graphics and things like that, but I said, what we ought to do? Let's see. Okay. We're going to go here. There we go. Okay. There you go. Okay, there we go. Hold on. Bear with me, ladies and gentlemen. See? Wow. Okay, we have that. Oh, I see where we're at. There, I see where we're at. All right, so let's see. Bear with me. Technical difficulties. Don't worry, this happens to everybody. No one said everything is, There we go. I think we got something, Houston, ladies and gentlemen. Houston, we have liftoff. You see that? Do you see that? Do you see that, ladies and gentlemen? I don't know if you see it. You see it? Do you see that? Do you guys see it? Does everyone see that? I just wanted to see if you can see Bad Bunny right there. Y'all see Bad Bunny right there? This is somebody who has their swag is on 100,000 trillion. W to the chat. Thank you for confirming and thank you for verifying. Now, notice all I did was I didn't even hit play. I just showed them a photo of somebody that got way more charisma, way smarter than Donald Trump. Someone that's not white, Hispanic, Latin. And the Super Bowl show, listen, I don't even speak Spanish, all right? I really don't. And if you're talking about being a hater, I could be a big hater anytime. I specialize in being a hater. But I watched Bad Bunny yesterday, ladies and gentlemen, and I said, "Oh, this is out of this world. This is amazing." Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is amazing. All right, let's listen to see if we can get some Bad Bunny going on over here, ladies and gentlemen. Bear with me, all right? Hold on. You remember this? I mean, This man. I mean, what are we doing?
Ey, Titi me preguntó si tengo muchas novias. Muchas novias, hoy tengo una, mañana otra.
Oh my God.
Pero no hay boda. Titi me preguntó si tengo muchas novias.
The turn up factor.
Muchas
You hear
novias,
this?
hoy tengo a una, mañana otra.
Hey.
Me las voy a llevar a todas pa' un VIP, un VIP. Ey, saludan a Titi, vamos a tirar
Hey.
un selfie. Seis chis, que sonrían y regalen la pena a ti en un VIP, un VIP. Ey, saludan a Titi, vamos a tirar un selfie.
Hey, this is
Seis chis, que sonrían las que se olvidaron ya de mí, me gustan mucho las Gabriela.
Hey.
La Nicole, la Sofía, mi
I don't even know what he's
primera
saying,
novia,
but
mi María y mi primer amor.
all right,
Se llama
fair enough,
Batanilla,
fair enough.
tengo una
'Cause you know,
que me escribe todos los días.
you know they'll give you these they'll give you these copyright restrictions, but you get what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen. You get what I'm saying. W to the Bad Bunny. They'll give you copyright restrictions if I just let that hit play. And then I saw what they were doing. Did you see what they were doing at Turning Point, ladies and gentlemen? These folks, ladies and gentlemen, were crying through. These folks at Turning Point, I mean, and Trump voters, did you hear what they were doing? These folks were literally becoming unhinged and unglued. I could play some of the things. I mean, these folks, Benny Johnson, did you hear what Benny Johnson said? I'll give you
Got Spenny. Turning Point just mogged the
I'll let you listen to what this ridiculous demon, Benny so-called Johnson said, ladies and gentlemen. Just listen to that. Look at true. This is a true hater right here. This is a hater alert, ladies and gentlemen. All right, bear with me. All right, we're gonna get. Listen to this hater right here. Listen to this demon right here. Okay, hold on.
fell tonight in the single greatest culture war victory in my lifetime with the defeat of the NFL's woke, cringe, derivative, foreign, unintelligible, Spanish-speaking, no-hit songs played halftime show that nobody could understand and that everybody is saying across the internet, the single worst halftime show in NFL history. Meanwhile, Turning Point put on a show that was banger after banger after banger. Country music, American rock, feel-good songs sung by Americans who love their country and can speak English. You know, it's American football that's being played here. This is our biggest sport in our...
Silence, you MAGA demon.
Nobody cares what you have to say, deranged Benny Johnson, ladies and gentlemen. And so you can just see the difference. I mean, first of all, when you get on, and this is how you know he's been cooked, and this is how you know Donald Trump has been cooked. When you start your video out using content from Bad Bunny, that means you're trying to get your likes and views up. You couldn't have did that with any of that stuff we saw at Turning Point because nobody watched it. And then I heard Fox News was exaggerating the numbers. 25 million people did. No. It wasn't 25 million people watching that. A lot, I would say if there was 95% of the people watching it were just looking at it because it was a train wreck. It was a S show. And I can't even say the word, but you know what I would say because I got to watch myself. And so it leads me to go ahead and give my analysis, so to speak, or my feedback about what Bad Bunny did. All right. And so this is for the history books. I am going to discuss a little bit what I call a reflection of Bad Bunny's historic performance at Super Bowl 60. All right. An event that transpired mere hours, actually a day ago at Levi Stadium out here in the Bay Area. He's the actual first Latin solo artist to perform at this prestigious platform, which is amazing. Benito Antonio Martinez Ocasio, or globally known as Bad Bunny, delivered a spectacle that was not merely entertainment, but profound assertion of identity, unity, and resilience in the face of adversity. The performance unfolded as a vibrant homage to Puerto Rican heritage and broader Latino cultures, commencing with the infectious rhythms of Titi Me Pregunto. Forgive me, I don't speak Spanish, but you can hear me. Where Bad Bunny emerged amidst a simulated street scene evocative of San Juan's lively neighborhoods. Dancers, clad in traditional attire and contemporary flair, filled the stage, transforming the field into a pulsating celebration of patio or salsa influences. Bear with me, my Spanish isn't that great. He seamlessly transitioned through such hits. I mean, hit after hit after hit. And you just heard Benny Johnson saying there were no hits. Those were hits. All right. Each number amplifying themes of empowerment and self-expression. Special guests elevated the proceedings. You all saw Lady Gaga there. Did you see Lady Gaga? That was so amazing. All right. And she joined for a salsa-influenced rendition of Die with a Smile, infusing the set with cross-cultural harmony while Ricky Martin contributed to the explosiveness, underscoring the queer inclusiveness, or as some say, the ethos that permeated the show. In particular, poignant moments include occurring during the transition. Do you remember that part where Bad Bunny approached Lincoln Fox? Some people thought it was Liam Ramos, from the Ice Raid, but it wasn't. It was Lincoln Fox, a child actor who had been, involved with this, and he was sitting on the couch. You all saw him watching television, and then Bad Bunny symbolically handed him a Grammy. I gotta give him a round of applause. He did this. This gesture represented the passing of artistic legacy to future generations and emphasized the importance of nurturing youth in marginalized communities amid harsh immigration policies. See, I have to talk about this because it's just not entertainment. This actually is tied to politics, and this is why I decided I had to talk about it. Beneath the high energy choreography and the pyrotechnics lay deliberate elements that served as a subtle yet unmistakable rebuke to the Trump administration's policies. In an era marked by aggressive immigration crackdowns and rhetoric that has targeted Latino communities, policies that have led to widespread deportation and family separations, Bad Bunny's choice to perform almost entirely in Spanish was bold. It was a bold declaration of linguistic and cultural sovereignty. This act alone broadcast to an audience of over 135 million people. 135 million people. Yeah, I am reading. Do you know how to read? Okay, yeah, you read your notes, all right? Affirmed the integral role of Spanish-speaking Americans in the national fabric, all right? Directly countering narratives that seek to marginalize them. Furthermore, the inclusion of queer icons and imagery pushed back against the discriminatory stances promoting inclusivity at a time when such values are under siege. The performance culminated, oh my gosh, where Bad Bunny was surrounded by a diverse ensemble, held aloft a football and proclaimed, "Together, we are America." Followed by the pointed Spanish affirmation, "Only thing more powerful than hate is love." These words, delivered amid a backdrop of unity, stood as a direct antidote to the divisiveness emanating from the current administration. Of course, in addressing the more outrageous facets of this cultural moment, one cannot overlook the predictable backlash with a touch of ironic amusement. Consider the irony of critics, including Donald Trump himself, decreeing a performance they deemed incomprehensible, perhaps because it dared to embrace a language other than English, as if the Super Bowl was not a stage for all Americans. Donald Trump went on to post, complaining that, quote, "Nobody understands a word this guy is saying," and labeling the dance disgusting for young viewers. All right. And this kind of evoked a certain humorous bewilderment. One might even wonder if the real offense lies not in the lyrics, but in the unapologetic joy of a community thriving despite efforts to suppress it. This profound concern for children's exposure to such performances rings hollow when you juxtapose that with Trump's refusal to release the Epstein files, documents that could shed light on associations with individuals implicated in grave offenses against minors. Moreover, the hypocrisy is stark in Trump's complaint about incomprehensible, given his own frequent tendencies to ramble in public addresses, often delivering statements that lack coherence and structured sentences, leaving many listeners struggling to honestly understand what he is saying. His selective outrage underscores the inconsistencies in his critique, revealing more about him actually than it does about Bad Bunny. So, ladies and gentlemen, I just got to say this. With that being said, you have to actually say congratulations to Bad Bunny, because what Bad Bunny did, it was truly a masterclass in artistic defiance, blending spectacle with substance and championing for marginalized voices. And it reminds us, honestly, that the true progress emerges not from exclusion, but from inclusion and the collective rhythm of diverse hearts beating as one. And so, with that being said, I just wanted to say, MAGA, do us all a huge favor and go straight to hell, all right? And thank you for your attention to this matter. Seriously. And so on that note, ladies and gentlemen, I got to warm up the lake of fire because they said, Zeus, what are you going to do to these people? I'm going to send some folks to hell this morning. For all of you Trump voters out there who couldn't, you couldn't dance. Number one, they can't dance. None of you Trump voters know how to dance. I'm going to be honest with you. So that already just took you out of the whole conversation. And then you can't dance, you got no rhythm, and you're ugly. I mean, and I say this because somebody actually DM'd me. And I said to him, you know what the silliest thing is? Ugly people making jokes about being ugly. That's the silliest thing I've ever heard. It's almost as if you don't see who you are. And so with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I have no other choice but to do this. MAGA, please leave my live right now because I promise you this is going to make you upset. But ladies and gentlemen, we're going to warm up the lake of fire and we're going to send all you Trump voters who are lying to yourselves still and went and watched that ridiculous S show, Turning Point. 5 million views max. All right. And then had the audacity, we don't understand Bad Bunny and it's offending the kids, but you sit up there and you support Donald Trump, who's doing both and more. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in sending these demons straight to hell. Thank you.
Silence, you MAGA Damon.
And that's a huge W. That's a huge W, Zeus, ladies and gentlemen. All right, how are we looking on time? All right, I want to try to get as much content in as I can, ladies and gentlemen, because I think it's this does kind of seem like it helps me in a way, but then again, it doesn't. I just wanted to also talk about. Let's see. It looks like we have some news about Jeffrey Epstein. I wanted to talk about. All right, ladies and gentlemen. All right, okay. Can you see this? Let's see. And this goes out to you so-called Christians out there. I want y'all to explain this to me, ladies and gentlemen. This is an email exchange. You can see that? I mean, oh my gosh, I think I have to. Okay, you could somewhat see it. I'm double checking, but this is an email exchange back in 2011, and this just goes out to all of you so-called Christians out there. Especially those of you who found yourselves getting offended when Don Lemon invaded your so-called church. I call it demon headquarters. All right. Explain this to Big Zeus. This is a letter, and I don't know why they keep redacting people's names, especially. I mean, why would you redact someone's name in this situation? Someone said, Blank said that she felt God's presence next to her when she was in bed. She knows that Jesus watches over her and helped save her life. Whoops. And then whoever this person was said, you should dress up as him when you see her. And then Jeffrey writes back, of course, the "Oh Jesus, I'm coming" trick. The "Oh Jesus, I'm coming" trick. Let me ask you so-called Christians. What say ye now? Y'all still claiming that y'all Christians out there? Jeffrey Epstein is doing things ungodly in the name of Jesus. And you wonder why the nation's going down in degradation. And this is why we're really at a crossroad in this country, in the world actually, where we just got to start questioning people who profess to be Christians. Yeah. I got more. Ladies and gentlemen, we got more. There's some more news that came out. Oh, this is gonna rock your world, ladies and gentlemen. This is gonna rock your world. Check this out. This is gonna rock your world. Check this email out. Check this out. We got more. All right, I don't know if you can see it, but it's a photo. I'll read it. Landon Thomas Jr. This is someone that was a New York Times reporter. I do know that at a certain point, he was let go because he was found to have been taking money from Epstein and not disclosing it, even though he eventually disclosed it. You know, they said it had something to do with the ethics and things like that. But this is an email that he wrote. All right, and we're gonna go from this is December 8th, 2015. He goes, now everyone's coming to me thinking I have juicy info on you and Trump. This is what he is saying to Epstein. Because of this statement, and then it's the quote where Trump says, I've known Jeff for 15 years. Terrific guy. Trump booms from a speakerphone. Quote, he's a lot of fun to be with. It's even said that he likes beautiful women as much as I do, and many of them are on the younger side. No doubt about it. And then he goes, that story will never die. So that is Landon Jr. writing to Epstein. Epstein replies, and this is December 8th, 2015. He says, would you like photos of Donald and girls in bikinis in my kitchen? Let me read that again for the folks in the back. Would you like photos of Donald and girls in bikinis in my kitchen? What more do you... I mean, and this is not an isolated incident. This happens regularly. And Donald Trump wants you to believe that Michael Wolff and Epstein colluded together to make up all these stories. Well, Landon says, yes. All right. And then it went on to say, do you mind if I pass blank contact on to political reporters? I won't do it unless you say okay, because after that, I would have no say as to where the story goes. Let me know. It's not a big deal for me either way, but at some point, this stuff will come out as long as he continues to top polls. So, you know, ladies and gentlemen, there you go again. What more evidence do you need, MAGA? What more evidence does MAGA need in order to see that the writing is on the wall? You cannot. Trump is godly. You think Trump is godly, Erwin? Erwin. No, seriously, Erwin. Does anyone think Donald Trump is a good person after looking at this stuff? Bad Boy, you think Bad Bunny is you don't like Bad Bunny, but you name yourself Bad Boy? Please. You're jealous. You can't dance like Bad Bunny. The only thing you can do well is basically behave like your dear leader. And so what I'm going to do is this, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm looking at the chat right now. None of them could actually validate any of the allegations or complaints they're making. All they're doing is crying in my comment section. And maybe they didn't hear me when I said this.
If you're not happy here, then you can leave.
Remember I said this?
As far as I'm concerned, if you hate our country, if you're not happy here, you can leave.
Yeah.
If you're not happy in the U.S., if you're complaining all the time, very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now. Come back if you want. Don't come back. It's okay too. But if you're not happy, you can leave.
Yeah. Hey, MAGA, you know what your dear leader thinks of you, right?
You're either stupid or you hate the country.
And a lot of us say it's both. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in warming up the lake of fire. None of these people can give us any answers. They can't give us any answers. But they know we've already exposed them today as being a bunch of haters, jealous. Christina, you asked me, what are they jealous of? Great question. They're jealous because nobody likes them and everybody loves us. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in sending them straight to hell.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
And that's a huge W, Zeus. I mean, I can point out to MAGA all the time why they're jealous, ladies and gentlemen. And at the end of the day, you know, I'll give you example. Here's it is right here. Somebody asked me why. All right, fair enough. You asked me why. Here's another instance right here. How many of you can see this right here? If you haven't seen it, go ahead and look into it. But we'll go ahead and look at this. Oh my gosh, yeah. Let's see if it shows. All right, I don't know if it shows. All right, it's kind of blurry. Never mind. But it's Jake Paul, and Jake Paul wrote, "Let's rally together and show." He goes, "Purposely turning off the halftime show. Let's rally together and show big corporations they can't do whatever they want without consequences." That's what he wrote. And the interesting thing is that his own brother Logan says, "I love my brother, but I don't agree with this. Puerto Ricans are Americans, and I am happy they were given the opportunity to showcase their talent that comes from the island, especially when you know you're living in the island too." So, ladies and gentlemen, that's another example of why I say most of these Trump voters, they come from very, very dark places. These folks are un-American. They're unpatriotic. They're totally they're not serious people, like Vice President Kamala Harris said, but the consequences of what they do is very, very serious. Right now, if you ask any Trump voter, what has your daddy done for you? They will never be able to give you an honest answer. And this is the problem in America. While Donald Trump's poll numbers continue to tank, if you're watching the special elections right now, Republicans are underperforming in many ways. And the name Donald Trump, it spells disaster. All right. And so what we're not going to do is pretend like it's anything other than that. All right. Now, we are moving on to the next part of my show. Actually, I went over because I was supposed to limit my show where we'll start talking to guests that are brave enough to honestly get in the box and tell the truth. All right, because also, you know, I think it's very important that we do have conversations. Yes, WZoo. So my first thing is this: do we have any Trump voters out there that are brave enough to get in the box and actually come up here and be honest with the American people for once? I mean, all we want is honesty. Or actually anybody, honestly, because we want honesty on this show, and we're not going to allow you to glaze Donald Trump and then turn around and start trying to bash the Democrats, because none of us are buying this. You don't have cheaper groceries. Donald Trump's poll numbers, they're not looking good. There's nothing that he campaigned on that he's actually polling well on, not even the border anymore. So you can't even do that. You can't even say, well, he sealed the border. No, he didn't seal the border, because people are still coming into this country. And most of the thing most people are actually avoiding the United States, right? Have you looked at the tourism industry in places like Florida? You know, people from Canada, they're not going to vacation in Florida anymore. You look at Las Vegas right now. No one wants to go out there and hang out, because guess what? We all know what Donald Trump is trying to do. He's trying to get people locked up. All right, it's a huge W Zeus. Yeah. You're leaving the USA. Look at that. Look at the chat. Yeah, I see people out there saying they're leaving the USA. And MAGA, you caused this. Why you don't have health insurance? I know people that don't even have health insurance anymore because they said it's too expensive. And they really... Remember that one guy that came onto my show? Remember him? I forget what his name was. What was his name? Scott or something? Scott, where you been? He told us, remember, he said, I got insurance. And he gave us the 1-800 number. And then I called the 1-800 number, and it was doop, doop, doop. This number is no longer in service. Okay, Scott. And he said, no, let me give it to you again. And I called it again. And then they said, you know what? We don't know what he's talking about. Yeah, we're going to be harmed. And so a lot of these, the trucker, yes, W in the chat. Yeah. You remember him, Zena? Yeah, he's no longer. All right. So listen, put a 1 in the chat if you're a Trump voter, and we'll get you right up here, and we'll get you straightened out. It won't take long, ladies and gentlemen. It really won't. I know there has to be somebody out there that is worshiping Donald Trump right now that is willing to get up here and tell the truth and shame the devil. All right. Well, okay. Well, we don't have any Trump voters. Isn't that amazing? All right. I must have hurt their feelings. You want to team up? Whoa. Sam, you want to team up with Latinos to take down the white man. We are awake now. We won't let you. Did you guys? Sam, you really wrote that? I'm surprised you could write in sentences, bro. Sam Hyde, come on up here, Sam. Tell Big Zeus about how we made you feel that way. Come on up here, Sam Hyde. I just sent you a guest request. Yeah, how many of you would like to hear Sam Hyde, which sounds like a grinder count, right? That's a grinder name, Sam Hyde. I don't know what you want folks to do with your hide, but knock it off. You're not going to get that over here, Sam Hyde. All right, just a nasty man. But you know what, Sam? It's not about teaming up against the white man. It's about standing up against evil, injustice, standing up for what's right. That's something you have no experience in doing. Sam, I promise you, everywhere you go in your real world, you're always doing the wrong thing, right? You go into the store, you're the one stealing. You know, they lock it all up so that you can't steal it anymore. That's why they have to lock stuff up at the store, because of you, Sam. You're the type of person, Sam, that when the offering basket is passed around at church, you know what you do? When let me go ahead and help myself. And you take the money in there because you're just a nasty person. You're the type of person, Sam Hyde. I don't even know why I'm saying this, but I might be actually speaking to you. You're the type of person that we see driving around those high schools in those pickup trucks trying to beat up on the kids. Sam, you're a disgusting, vile, sick person. You know what we're going to do, ladies and gentlemen? Let's go ahead and warm up the Lake of Fire again. Sam, you can run, but you can't hide. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in sending Sam Hyde, who has nothing to contribute. And maybe I should find Sam Hyde. Where's Sam Hyde at? Because you know what I don't want? I don't want you to be able to have a voice. Mods, could you please do me a favor and put Sam Hyde in a straight jacket? Ladies and gentlemen, join me in sending that demon straight to hell. Yeah.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
That's a huge W, Zeus. You see how that works, Sam? Keep hiding. All right, I'm not going to let you get away with it, all right? Now, who wants to be next? Who wants to be next, all right, ladies and gentlemen? Oh, yeah, we have a great show today, ladies and gentlemen. All right, I'm going to bring up somebody. How does that work? Good morning, TJ. Welcome. You're the first guest on the new morning show, but how are you doing, bro?
I am good, brother, and everybody out there, you need to see the numbers and raw data.
Oh, you got some raw data.
5.1 million were watching a pre-recorded lip syncing show when 1.9 million people tuned in just to watch the Benito Bowl. And then the Seahawks won the Benito Bowl. That's what y'all need to understand. There are more of us than there are of them. And those are the raw numbers. Even Trump dumpster fired Trump didn't even watch Kid Rock. Just so you all know.
Hold on. So what you're saying is that the Fox News lied today when they said that he had 25 million live viewers. Did you hear that?
You know, the best thing about Fox is that the receipts are there.
Mm-hmm.
Every time that Fox speaks.
Oh, wait a second. They said they can't hear you, bro. I mean, you might have a lot of background noise, but
I'm in the laundromat. Lazy liberals don't do anything, right?
Yeah. Well, it's kind of loud, but if you get quieter, bro, just send me a request and we'll finish it up.
You got it, bro.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's my good friend TJ Martin. Let's give him a round of applause. See what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen? No. They said speak up. All right. Do we have anybody out there, any Trump voters out there? Come on up here and cry on my show. Come on up here, MAGA. We want you, and make sure you're in a good, comfortable spot where you can let your hair down and, be honest, right? All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's see. Yeah, too much chat. Well, we're working it all out. It's a team effort, ladies and gentlemen. It is a team effort. All right, moving on to the next panelists. Let's see, who do we got up here next, ladies and gentlemen? Oh, you like this, Z-Pac? Janet, good morning. Janet, are you there? Might have accidentally sent me a guest request. All right. Moving on to the next panelist. Tiny Tank Top Tim, I don't get why you continue to come up here and humiliate yourself. Good morning, Germ. Germ, are you there?
Hey, good morning, Zeus. My bad. I kind of hit the button by accident.
Tragic. All right, bro. Well, thank you for joining. All right, I'm gonna give you a round of applause. Got gentlemen, that guest request is tricky. All right, and again, I don't know how it happens, but if you are in the guest request, please feel free to hop out, and we will try to get you back up here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let me bring up another guest. All right, maybe this is a real one. Good morning, Shay.
I'm as real as I can be, my friend.
All right,
How are you?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
Good. I'm loving the new setup. This is cool, man. You're looking good too. You're looking good. I like the background. Everything looks good.
Thank you. Well, you look good too. All right. And how's my audio doing today, by the way?
Thank you. It sounds good.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's very
it's
important.
Doing well, man.
All right. Thank you. All right. Well,
absolutely. So let's talk a little bit about this wonderful Tipusa and pre-recorded, by the way. They couldn't even do it. Interesting. They had to beg for seat fillers for the pre-recorded show, right?
Yeah.
They had a couple of no-namers that nobody really knew about, and their star was Kid Rock, who sang one song, right? And did he sing it? No, he did not. He lip-sung it the whole time.
Get out of here.
So, yes. So that was their show to compare to a Super Bowl performance, which anybody that's ever watched the Super Bowl knows that it takes months of preparation and the amazing work that goes into putting on a halftime show. The special effects. I mean, I remember Michael Jackson in 1992, how he, was flipped up on top of one of the big billboards, right? And then boom, ended up coming up from under the stage, right? That was 1992, y'all.
Yeah.
And let's be real clear. The Super Bowl has always had a message, right? Every single artist, including Michael Jackson's in 1992, was about coming together, and it doesn't matter whether you're black or white, and heal the world and all of the things that he did.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
We had We Are the World in 1984. We had Live Aid in 1985. So let's be real clear that musicians and artists have always used their voice to help the world and talk about human rights. But with Bad Bunny last night, Benito Ocasio, what he did last night is his show was about the history of Puerto Rico, right? It started off in the sugarcane fields, right, of colonization, talked about the barrio in Nueva York and New York. It talked about the gentrification of their Puerto Rican neighborhood. And there's a woman that he took a shot with at the bar that has been there for decades, still staying strong. They keep trying to buy her out and stuff, but she's still there. It talked about Ricky Martin saying, I know many of you didn't speak Spanish. What he's saying about was for Puerto Rico not to end up being like Hawaii, where if they became the 51st state, they would be forced to lose their cultural adaptations and their heritage there. They would have to be forced to, not probably speak as much Spanish as they do, et cetera, et cetera. And our wonderful Danger, he often talks against the United States and what they did to Hawaii. So he should have enjoyed at least that part of the show. I could go on and on. It talks about the power grid that they're on. That's what the electric poles were about. That they're not allowed to be on their own grid. So some of the issues they have with being part of the United States, it goes on, but it just was so beautiful. And Lady Gaga sang in English. So yes, there was English being sung. Yeah. But what I love about it is, and this is real clear that y'all need to understand, if you were watching, right, the Super Bowl, right?
Yep.
And then you turned off your TV and then you went to turn on your computer and watch the Tipusa, right?
I mean, when you call it that, it sounds sick in a way. I'm gonna be honest.
Oh,
But
is that not how you say it? Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you can say it that way, but you know.
Oh, okay. Oh, I thought that's how you pronounced it. You know, I don't know. Now, I don't speak their language, so I don't know how to pronounce it.
Look at the chat. Look at the chat. They say it just screams disgusting when you say it that way, and that's what they chose to call it. So it is that. So, but
yeah, it's Tapusa.
Yeah.
So when you when you shut off the TV, you go to your iPad and you pull up the pre-recorded Tapusa halftime show, all American, right? Only in English.
True.
Right? You are the one that is being political. Let's be real clear.
Oh, that's not being patriotic or being an American, because a lot of them were saying they were putting Jesus in the lyrics. I didn't listen to any of it, so you can't.
Oh,
don't
yeah,
hold
there
me
was
to
some
it.
Jesus in there.
Jesus
I think.
references
I don't know.
and things like that, but
I wasn't going to give him another person to like, oh, look, it was so popular. But yes, that is my understanding. There was some Jesus in there, you know, because that's all the United States is about, obviously.
No, I don't want any of that T whatever that. I can't even say it, Shay. How do you say it? I don't want any of that.
I just say Tapusa.
Yeah. No. We don't
Gotta
want
say
none
it
of
real
that.
fast.
We don't want none of that on this show. No, that'll get you locked up. When you start thinking about it, it'll get you locked up. So no. All right, thank you, Shay. All right, that's new.
Well, yeah. So be real clear. You're the one being soft. You're the one being a snowflake.
Mm-hmm.
If you just couldn't watch an incredible show that incorporated all of America, right? He didn't burn the flag. He didn't wear a dress. He didn't speak out against ICE. He absolutely talked about that all of the America, Central, South, and North America are united, and that it's better to have love than hate. That was his message. Way to go, Bad Bunny. I couldn't have been prouder to be an American last night.
Thank you.
And yeah, largest Super Bowl watched ever.
Thank
it
you.
crushed the numbers.
Speak on it, Shay. Speak on it. Speak
All
on
right.
it. All right. Well,
I love it.
All
But
right.
anyway.
Thank
Love
you.
you, my friend.
All right.
I'll be hosting a live later with RC Dubs.
Okay.
I'm actually hosting a live. I haven't done that in forever.
Oh, wow.
But,
what is the occasion?
There is RC is debating with Admir.
Okay. All right. That'll be interesting.
So it's a debate.
Okay.
Be 3 p.m. Central, this channel. Anyway, I haven't hosted in a while, but
I will try to make it and tune in. All right, because I love a healthy debate. All right, but if it gets I good luck there. Well, good luck to.
supposedly he has to walk back some racist comment, but I'm like,
Okay.
I don't know.
MAGA.
What's going
Well,
on?
listen, I'll be there if I can. All right, so please, thank you
All
for
right,
the heads up
all
and
right.
W Shay in the chat.
Yes.
All right, in and
Love
out
you
like a
guys.
burger. Love you as well, ladies and gentlemen. That's my
Okay.
beautiful
Bye,
friend
guys.
Shay. No lies detected. You see what this show is about, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, we want to hear willing to be honest with us. All right, you can't, ladies and gentlemen. You can't listen to. I mean, you can't listen to Bad Bunny.
San Francisco. Disfruta que esto es un ratito nada más.
I mean, come on. Hey.
4 de julio fue el de July.
Hey.
Con mi prima borracha Rulay, los míos en el Bronx,
Hey.
¿verdad que
I mean, come on.
cuando no estén ahí por Washington hay Willy Colón, me dicen el mal.
Come on.
Ey, porque pasan los años y sigo dando palos, vendiendo discos como cuadros Frido Galo. El pelo es blanco, sí, el tusi rosita.
Can't compete with this. Come on.
No, no,
What are you doing, MAGA? Seriously? You ain't getting the crowd. You're not getting the party lit, all right, with that Kid Rock stuff, MAGA. That's a huge W for Bad Bunny. See, I can do that. You hit play anywhere. The whole vibe shifts, all right? And that's what people want. We do not want dry, bland, boring, flaccid in a way, honestly, and I shouldn't even say that. We don't want none of that in America, all right? Y'all do, we don't, all right? Huge W, Zeus. W, Bad Bunny. All right, who do we got in the chat next? Anybody? Don't come up here and complain about Bad Bunny. It's not going to end well. All I'll do is hit play, and I'll start having the best time. All right? And then you're going, well, you could have did that with Kid Rock. No, you couldn't. You couldn't have did this with Kid Rock. Trust me. I looked at it. Who do we have next? The amazing Takesha. Good morning, Takesha. How are you?
Hey Zeus, how you doing this morning?
I'm doing okay. You know, you see my format has shifted up a little bit.
And listen, it's awesome. It's fantastic,
Thank
man.
you. All right,
You did a great job. I'm
Okay.
really proud of
Thank
you. I
you.
really
Thank you,
am.
because y'all been rocking with me. W to Takesha. Now, are you still doing that thing where we can hit your Cash App?
They ain't gonna hit it, Zeus. They be mistreating me.
Oh,
They need to hit it, Zeus. They
thank
need
you.
to be hit.
Amen. All right,
Hit
ladies and
the
gentlemen,
Cash
hit
App.
Takesha's Cash App if you can. All right, we want to make sure no stone left unturned on this show. All right, and we got to take care of one another. Hallelujah. Okay.
But listen, Zeus. I saw this quote
Mm-hmm.
and it really resonated with me. And it said, the same people that need a separate halftime show are the same people that needed a separate water fountain.
Huh. Oh, you gonna take it there like that? You gonna do that to us this morning, Takesha? Cause
when I saw it, Zeus, and what came to my mind was the name of the organization is Turning Point. At this point, they want to turn it back to where it was.
Wow, these folks are.
That's why they over there living separate lives. And then they want to take Jesus and duct tape him to their hate. Hate does not dwell in the same space. That's why I know most of them will bound.
Amen. Wow.
But let me say this.
Go ahead.
I had no problem with Bad Bunny's performance last night. They were waiting on him to get up there and have a dress and do all this other stuff. And that man did a performance with meaning
Yep.
and a message.
Amen.
And I'm proud of him.
Me too.
I really, really am, Zeus, because at this point, we have a racist in the White House.
Facts.
We have a racist administration.
Facts.
We have racists following him.
Facts.
And at some point, whether they know it or not, the Lord gonna rock and roll in a minute. I keep telling them.
Yeah.
He doing it little bit by little bit,
Yeah.
Zeus.
Yeah.
But when he come through like a windstorm, Zeus,
Yeah. Speak on it.
and blow them all down,
Amen.
they ain't gonna have nothing to hold on to, Zeus.
No.
Cause hate. These people think that when we, cause the Lord he gonna make the new heaven and earth down here.
Right.
That's what the word says. He gonna destroy this one and we ain't gonna be in no sky. We gonna be down here on the new heaven and earth.
Yeah.
They act like the Lord told them that they mansions gonna be in the front and bigger than everybody else's.
Yeah.
There is no separation when it comes to the Lord. There is no separation in heaven. God made everybody. He ain't just made white folks and other folks just showed up. Stop it.
Yeah.
Y'all gotta get over this racism. Y'all gotta stop having this one-track mind thinking you're better when you're not. God said he has no respect of person. He didn't say he died for white people. He didn't say for God so loved white people. It said for God so loved the world. He's here for all of us. And the only thing he asked us to do was love our neighbors as ourselves.
Why do you think
And if
that's
you
so
can't do that,
Yeah.
you ain't going nowhere. Enjoy your heaven right now. Because you're not going. He does not accept hateful hearts. Because y'all looking on the outside of these folk, they wear a cross around their neck and they say Jesus. But God says, man looks upon the outer, but God looks upon the heart. And he know your heart is dark, dirty, and hateful, and you ain't going. You ain't going nowhere.
Speak on
Now
it.
get it together.
Amen. Amen. Y'all come on. Y'all bless Takesha. Hit that cash. Y'all know when the good word is being circulated like this, we got to uplift one another. Amen. Go ahead. Look at them. They say, tell it, my sister. And they say, W Takesha. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Because we have to make sure that folks like Takesha and every single one of these amazing panelists that come up here, we have to make sure their voices continue to be spread all over social media. So W to the chat. Takesha, but you spoke on something and it kind of it kind of made me think, and I wanted to get your opinion, your honest take on it. You said we supposed to love our neighbor.
Yes.
It sounds simple and easy to do, especially if you are a real person of Christ following Jesus's teachings. Why do you think it is hard for a lot of the Trump voters to do something so simple based on what you understand?
Because they're Christians and not born again believers. You know, the KKK thought they were Christians, but you can't be a Christian if you're not like Christ. So they are Christian, but they're not born again believers, because a lot of the stuff they do, they would be fearful that God is not pleased. Anytime you live a life and you don't care if God is pleased with what you do, and you don't care of the consequences, you think you could just say, forgive me, and keep living how you want to live.
Yeah.
You don't know Christ. That's why it's easy, Zeus. These people are, the Bible, God hates a prideful heart. These people are prideful. They are selfish. They lack empathy. They have nothing Christ-like about them. But if they put a cross around their neck, they swear they know him, Zeus. Donald Trump said he never read the Bible, and they still calling him a good Christian man. How can you be good and a Christian and you don't know God's word, Zeus? How? Explain that to me.
Honestly,
you never picked up the word of God, but you're such a great Christian. How you do that, Zeus? You don't know him. How you know him if you ain't read about it?
Amen. That part.
Stop playing with the Lord. He tired of y'all playing with him. Bottom line.
Thank you. All right, Takesha. Well, listen, you did well this morning, and I could see that you got a lot of folks out here who love you and is supporting you. All right. So what I want to say is thank you for bringing that truth up here. All right, and adjusting.
All right,
and
have a great day, y'all. Have a great day, y'all.
You did a good job adjusting to the format of the new show, because I'm trying to get as many honest Americans up here as I possibly can. And I know we all can say and talk a lot, but you just got it in and out. And I think this is actually going to work out in a more positive way for a lot of people. So good. Thank you.
Absolutely. Have a great day.
All right, you too.
All right.
All right, send a guest request if you want to come up here and take on what is happening. All right, ladies and gentlemen. And yes, and please, I don't normally do it, but I say if you can, please support the panelists, because, I'm Big Zeus, but, I get up here and I do what I do. But a lot of these folks, a little goes a long way. All right, who do we got this morning? I thought I saw Marissa, but Marissa, I think you jumped out real quick. All right, and I get you, but you're more than welcome to come on up here. Marissa, come on up here if you don't mind. Oh, definitely. I gotta hear from my boy G-Man. Good morning, G-Man. Welcome to the show. I don't know if you're here, but yeah, I wanted to check in with you, all right? Because you from that, right? You from the soil, the same soil as Bad Bunny, right?
Well, I'm Puerto Rican. I'm basically a New York Rican, raised in New York, Puerto Rican. I put tears in my eyes on that. We came a long way.
Thank you.
Came a long way.
Wow.
I mean, I drove the halftime. Let's keep it short. I'm speechless because he's make us Puerto Ricans, young and old, and all of that, are proud who we are.
Amen.
We contribute to the United States. We realize we got treated like doo-doo from the get-go since they took the island away from Spain. Look at the atrocity this country has done to Puerto Rico. People don't believe me. Just do your research about it and you understand.
Yeah.
Not just Puerto Ricans, all U.S. citizens, regardless they're born on the island or the mainland United States and constitutions. But get these racists, MAGA bichos, Billy Bobs and Becky's, generalize are all the same. They don't like because maybe they don't like his political stance, but deep down us is racism because they think, oh, he's not really full American. Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
Amen.
You just don't like because he got a little bit of flavor and some rhythm when your Billy Bobs and Bakers are lacking.
Yeah.
Just be for real. And for real. And I went to Ange Life before I came to yours, and we talking about it.
Y'all talked about it.
Ange, thank you. And because she brought it up about how to feel the concert. I'm proud to be. Always been proud. 365 days a year to be a Puerto Rican. But that night, it made Puerto Rican Day not just once a year, twice a year.
Yeah.
And gave a little historically what they tribute this nation here and there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you?
And, Zeus, and I'm gonna let you know the rhythm coming from the African trade slaves and all that.
Yeah.
I always tell them my African brothers and sisters in the Southeast, it doesn't matter what the ship landed, we both they came with the same continent. And I said, they look at me and say, yeah, because they look at my complexion because I'm light skinned, you know. But I believe it or not, when I saw the different millions of dancers and all that, doesn't matter who they are, that represent what us Puerto Ricans are all about.
Amen.
We come to different shades and colors.
Amen.
So Zeus, I don't want to take your time, man, but I just
I'm proud, man,
because
you know what? I'm gonna be honest. Normally, you and I, when we talk, we're getting on MAGA, but this was honestly my first kind of exposure to the Puerto Rican culture. I know we're still Americans all together, but this was my first time listening to it, and I'm like, wow. I had no idea that he was able to, blend so much American culture into the, Latin hip hop, right? And it was very uplifting, G-Man. And so, I just wanted to hear from you because I know you understood it a lot better than I did. But as an outsider, I listened to it and I was like, wow, that is amazing.
See, as a New York-Rican, I'm basically a Joan generation, and Generation X could relate just as well with us Joan generation of New York-Ricans. We intertwined with the African brothers and sisters during the civil rights era. Remember the Black Panthers and for the Young Lords. I could go on and on and on. We unite for the same common cause.
Right.
Hip hop started. Salsa started up in New York. Hip hop started all that. We intertwined with one another, going in the midst of the bandit buildings and burning the Bronx burning. Because I was from up there.
Yeah.
So it makes the character who I am, and we tribute to this nation just like African Americans tribute.
Yeah.
As well. So it make us as a whole American proud.
Yeah.
Because we just a melting pot, not the things a lack of flavor and bland like these MAGA Beachos, Billy Balls, and Becky's. But Zeus, I don't want to hand up your time,
all right,
man.
All right, then, brother.
It's an honor.
All right.
Everybody have a marvelous Monday. They say since strong life to short and peace, my brothers.
All right. WG, man. Look at that. All the folks in the chat, W to all every one of you. Thank you. All right, now see that, ladies and gentlemen. It really doesn't take long to get up here and be honest. I mean, if all you have is hate in your heart, you really do need to knock it off, ladies and gentlemen. All right. I noticed we don't have any Trump voters out there brave enough to get in the box. I wonder why. I wonder why MAGA is so scared this morning. And you would think they would be coming up here and pointing out all the things that happened at that ridiculous event they had on the side. It was a sideshow, but none of them have came up here to say they had the time of their life. Good morning, Brother Nutty. How are you?
Hey, good morning, man. I love the new format.
You do?
I love the new format. Yeah.
Okay, I appreciate it, man.
I do. It's different. Made me do a double take, but it's different. It's nice to, change things up every now and then.
Thank you. Well, there's going to be more changes. This is step one in that direction, but I got some other ideas that I'm thinking about putting into place.
So it's been a few days since I've been in the kingdom.
Yeah.
And so I'm gonna speak fast because again, just like everyone else, I don't want to take up your time.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna drop my Black History moment.
Well, before you say that, let's just be honest. You have folks here that regularly listen to you as well, because you've been contributing, and so it's an opportunity for them to get some of the nutty, when you're doing the right thing. So, it means a lot that you still you come in and do what you do. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, show Nutty some love. All right. Because we have to move in this direction in order to keep getting the truth out there further and further. I realize that. All right. Now, please continue. You say you're going to, introduce some new information about Black History Month. Not new, but, relevant.
Well, not new, but maybe new to some people in here.
Yeah.
So Marion Croak, Croak, he was the inventor. He was an inventor who developed the voice over internet protocol, VoIP technology.
Yeah. Well.
So
he's black.
Thank a black man. And it was also a black person, just a side note, who actually did invent the internet, by the way. Wow. So, but my next one, Lonnie G. Johnson. He was a NASA engineer who invented the Super Soaker
I
water
remember.
gun.
Yeah, I remember.
So yeah, so it's things that we use in everyday life that black people have invented. You know, people, like the traffic light, the refrigerator, the HVAC system, or GPS. I mean, I can go on and on and on. The cell phone, and people may get triggered when I'm saying this stuff, but it's called history. If you pick up a book and go read something, maybe you'll learn something.
Yeah.
So I didn't get on your panel. Because, I really try to respect, we joke around a lot when I get on.
Yeah.
We joke around and do what we do. But I really, at the end of the day, I respect what you want to do and what you don't want done on your panel. So I didn't get on Friday because Friday I was super triggered.
Why?
I was super triggered with the racist in chief.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant later on when I got on Friday, but no, early in the morning.
No. I was super triggered with the racist in chief, and I don't know if I could have held my composure. So I just chose not to get on.
Well, can we address it at least, because some time has passed?
No, I'm that's why I'm addressing it now, because I'm cool with it now.
Okay.
Well, I'm not cool with it.
Oh yeah, I get what you mean.
We've heard several things about, it was an intern or a staffer who did it. He didn't do it. He passed it on to him. Let's say all of that is true. We know it's not, but let's just say all of that is true. At the end of the day, the buck stops with him. It was on his personal account, on his social media platform. So at the end of the day, shouldn't he be the one that knows what's going on with his things? Like, if someone's posting something in your name, didn't approve it, that sounds kind of shady, right?
Yeah. No.
If we seen something from this account being posted, something that's harmful to any community,
I got hacked.
We're gonna call your ass out on it.
Yeah, but I would have gotten hacked. That's what I would do. I got hacked.
But you would address it, right?
Absolutely. You can't have harmful things going.
So on Air Force One, he said he had, so he's not gonna apologize. So even if that were true, if he had nothing to do with it, but the fact that it was on his personal account, on his social media platform, that alone is for an apology right there.
Yeah.
I need for you all to understand, and when I say you all, I'm talking about the people who are in here, who are even looking from the shadows, to understand that this man is the devil. He is the devil reincarnate. And for you to say that he's not racist, tell me what other president accused another president of the birtherism, of not being born here in the United States. I'll wait. Did y'all forget about birtherism? I think they did.
Yeah, they did.
So, and Takesha, she's going to definitely my hands when I say this. I'm sure she's going to call me. She's going to call me and she's going to say, now, Nutty, now you know better. Now, Nutty, no. And she ain't going to let me speak. So,
but she's right to do that if you do something you shouldn't do.
Well, I'm gonna just say it this way. As a believer, I don't wish death on anybody until today.
Don't do it, Nutty. Don't do it, bro.
I think
happened?
Think he needs to go meet his maker.
Oh my God.
I think he needs to go meet his maker, because listen, and I'm not calling for violence. I'm asking the Lord to take him home to wherever that home is. We know, I know where I think it is, but I'm just asking the Lord to just go ahead and take him.
Well, he's not done
anything
good.
I want to make that clear, because I know I don't want you getting DMs saying that Nutty threatened the president. I don't want you getting DMs.
I know you didn't do that. You didn't do that. But yeah, you
can't. That's why I made myself clear.
But you can't give him credit for nothing. I've been asking Trump voters to at least try to give him credit for something good that he's done. You can't give him any credit for anything good that he's done.
What has he done that's been good? Since he's been in the White House, this last year,
Mm.
I'm not even talking about the first term, he has enriched himself and his family by the tune of almost $4 billion, stealing from the United States Treasury. He is suing his own government, the people. He's suing you. He's suing me for $10 billion. That ultimately, Zeus, let's just tell the truth, shame the devil. It's going to get settled, and that money that it's going to be settled with is going to come out of the U.S. Treasury. Yet again, our tax-paying dollars. What has he done that's been good?
I'm looking in the chat. I don't personally see anyone out there still. You've been remember when you offered people a trip to Russia and no one took you up on that offer?
I do.
And
I do.
And what you just asked, no one's going to take you up on that offer either, Nutty. I mean, I think they understand it. And it's unfortunate that even they understand it, they still get out here and they defend this man. It's sick.
So now I'm done with him.
Okay.
I'm done with him. I want to move to yesterday. I want to move to Bad Bunny.
All right, we got a few more minutes and then we.
Okay, I'm gonna make it quick. I think it was horrible because that man that performed at the Super Bowl. I don't know if if you translate his lyrics into English. There's this one song where the lyrics says, young ladies, I like them underage. See, some say that's statutory, but I say it's mandatory. So who supports that? Who celebrates that? Aren't we supposed to be anti P3DOs? Aren't we supposed to be? So why would we have that person at the Super Bowl? Oh wait, my bad. That wasn't Bad Bunny. That was Kid Rock, a Trump supporter.
But remember, Trump said
a Trump supporter.
Remember, Trump said something about the lyrics or the performance was inappropriate for kids. That's what Trump said. About what Bad Bunny did. You had women dancing and celebrating. Despite the, the travesty and the tragedy that's going on to a lot of the folks. Right? They were celebrating and dancing and having a great time. And Trump said that kids shouldn't see that. What do you think?
Kids shouldn't see Donald Trump. They shouldn't see J.D. Vance humping a couch. They shouldn't see Tapussa, as Shay would say. They shouldn't see Tapussa with the Kirk unaliver, his wife. They shouldn't see her because we know what that's all about. Because we know that they support 3PDOs.
Yeah, fair. Yeah.
They're the party that supports unaliving.
What a sick party.
And graping of children and women. They're the party that don't want to seek accountability. They're the party that consistently wants to just rain down hell on anyone that doesn't look like them, speak like them, think like them, and worship like them. They are the ones.
Thank you. All right. Well, listen, Nutty, I
appreciate your time, man.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Nutty, my good friend Nutty, my brother. Give him some love, all right? Thank you, everyone. All right, look at that, ladies and gentlemen. Why can't we get any? Honestly, as much as I love hearing truth from some of the Democrats, I struggle sometimes because I say I make myself available. Why do I always end up having to deal with the same demons on the show? Where are the certified MAGA demons? The ones that, when I go live in other people's live, then they come and find me. Oh, I've been waiting to talk to you. No, this is your time. This is your time to shine. Get in here and just tell all of us, honestly, what you enjoyed yesterday about Turning Point USA. I really want to hear. Don't talk about any of the fun us Democrats, real Republicans, and independents had. We had a lot of fun with the Super Bowl, but we want to know why, MAGA. What was the most exciting thing about the Turning Point S show, W Zeus? They don't like me because I tell the truth and I shame the devil, ladies and gentlemen, but somebody has to do this. This is difficult work, ladies and gentlemen. It really is. All right, so listen, if you're a Trump voter, please identify yourselves in the comment section. Place a 1, and hopefully I can get you in here, and we can get to the bottom of what's going on. Let's give them a couple of seconds, ladies and gentlemen. Do we have any Trump voters? I don't see any. Does anyone see a Trump voter, mods? Do you see any of these so-called cult members? No, they're really cult members. All right, they're called so-called Christians. Do you see them? None. Look at this. None. Wow. What say ye, MAGA? None. We won't let you have. Yeah. Look at this. I mean, where they at though? They're the diaper. They're ashamed. They don't know how to work TikTok. Wow. They tuck tail. W to the chat right here, ladies. Just read the comments. The comments are entertaining. Don't worry, MAGA. It's a safe space over here, MAGA. It's really a safe space. I mean, let's just be honest. You didn't see this? You didn't see this yesterday? You didn't see this? Hey, San Francisco. I mean, come on, this is slaughter. Sing it. Hey. I mean, come on. What are we doing? Oh my God, ladies and gentlemen, W Bad Bunny, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, when you see that, seriously, how could anybody, Blagger, how could you sit there and look at that and go, oh, I'm good on that. Take me to the Kid Rock operation. What are you thinking? That's a betrayal of your blackness. Any black person that says they enjoy Kid Rock over that, I'm gonna be honest, I'll be like you. They ain't black. W Zeus. Like Joe Biden said, if you have a problem figuring out whether or not who you vote for, me or Trump, then you ain't black. I agree, W Joe Biden. These folks ain't black. You don't get to say anything to me at all after that because I know you're lying. Even Donald Trump, ladies and gentlemen, there's video circulating. He didn't even watch Turning Point. You know what he was doing? He was watching Bad Bunny. He didn't even mention anything about Turning Point because there's nothing there. It was dry. It was bone dry. It was an embarrassment. I just can't believe it. I mean, where are the so-called? Oh my gosh, ladies, where are they at? I make myself available every day for them. All right, who do we got? Good morning. Lil Rican 71. Good morning. How are you?
Fine. How are you?
I am doing all right. How can I help ya?
I'm not a Trump fan,
Okay, good. You passed
but
the
last
first.
night, it was totally amazing.
Good.
He did everything accordingly because, of course, I'm Puerto Rican.
Okay,
But
I
he
kind
did.
of figured, but go ahead.
It was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, Donald Trump
Mm-hmm.
right away fired up and he was like, "Oh, it was disgusting." And we already know he's a P3 Leo. But you're talking about these people, I saw the dancers. I saw everything. At the same time, did you not notice that Pedro Pascal, Jessica Alba, and Cardi B were among everybody?
Yeah, what is that house? What's that term they called that house? I don't know, but the house that they were in, or is a building. I forget what.
Correct.
Yeah, but I saw them. Yeah, I saw them. I said, "Wow, he had a little house." Yeah. And then you saw the whole little Grammy incident with the child. Lincoln Fox. You saw that moment.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean,
What a lot of people didn't realize is in that little small scene when he gave that kid a Grammy, everybody was saying, "Oh, that was I can't remember his name, but
Liam Ramos, the child
right,
that was illegally
right,
detained by ICE, right?
okay." No, it wasn't Liam Ramos because Liam Ramos is still going through medical stuff But yes,
Yes.
he did do a tribute. But at the same time, not trying to be funny. How was the music?
Are you talking about the music Bad Bunny performed? Or are you talking about?
Yes.
Oh, you know, I don't even do the salsa and the merengue and all that stuff, but I listened to it and my hips and they wanted to do a lot. So he won A, and I said it, A plus 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 plus.
Yeah.
Right?
Mhm.
Speak on it. Yeah. Yeah. And they know that.
Yeah.
Do you think
Yeah.
do you honestly do you think there were some folks on the right that felt very insecure when they heard and saw what Bad Bunny did? Did it make them
Oh
feel
heck yeah.
insecure? Why would it make them feel insecure in your opinion?
Because they're. Ooh,
Hmm.
I don't want to get your live taken down.
Well, if you
But
keep it
it's
clean.
because. Oh no, I'm not gonna curse.
Okay.
It's because they chose to follow the Trump looking.
Mm.
There was nothing that Bad Bunny did or let's just say last night, that other people have done before
Mm.
with several different races that weren't any different. He kept it completely clean.
But can I say this though? He didn't speak enough English. Wasn't that offensive?
No, I'm a musical person. When the beat hits me,
Mm-hmm.
I don't care what it is. I listen to everything.
Me too.
I listen to everything.
Thank you. You spoke, yeah. So you don't like the guitars and the drums that was happening at that so-called event. You don't get off to that, so to speak, right? You gotta have it. Got to have the rhythm. It got to have the bass.
Right.
It got to be able to hit the right pitch. It got to be a complete package, so to speak, right?
Correct. Did you not see that there were people that were playing saxophones, trumpets,
Yeah.
all that kind of stuff,
Yeah.
and the bongos,
Yeah.
everything?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I saw it. It's
Yes.
amazing. Yeah. Oh. So you're gonna say, what would you rate Bad Bunny's Super Bowl performance?
If you're asking me,
Unbiased on a perspective.
unbiased,
Unbiased. In terms of being the American, like, how would you rate this thing?
100 plus.
Okay, and you didn't even waste time. I agree. But so you consider it speaking and singing in Spanish American? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yo habla español y inglés. Sorry, not trying to be funny.
No, you did good. You did
If
good.
you did, if you when we're in school,
Mm-hmm.
when you're in school, you can learn how to speak several different languages.
School? Wow. You're
Right.
right.
And if you decide not to learn those languages,
Mm-hmm.
it's up to you.
Amen.
But that was way back then.
Yeah.
Now we're in a what is it called? Babel?
Yeah.
What is it? Razona something? You can learn how to do all these things. You choose not to.
Bingo.
So if you're not bilingual in any way, shape, form, or fashion, whatever language it is, that's your choice.
We chose.
And you know what? Soak in it.
Yeah. Yeah. You're right. Well, listen, Little Rican, I gotta say thank you so much for coming up here. All right, and it was a pleasure to hear from you. All right, and
Thank you.
I definitely appreciate the honest American feedback about what happened yesterday at the Super Bowl. But and I think more of that is needed in order to get this country back on the track we were trying to get it on before.
Yes. Oh, what did Bad Bunny say? The way to get us together is with love.
Amen. Yeah.
Yep.
Amen. I agree. All right. Well, listen, we're gonna keep spreading love, not hate, on this show. All right, and thank you so much. Thank you so much, Little Rican. No. All right, no lies detected. Yeah. I'm with you, Lady Boss. You don't need to have the ability to be bilingual to know a good music. When you hear it, your ear instantly catches it. And like I said, it was the total package. It hit on all levels, the colors, the vibrant nature of the performance. It was just, to me, incredible. All right, moving on to our next panelist. You love the unity. Wow, look at that, ladies and gentlemen. Do we have any Trump voters out there? I'm looking. I don't see not one Trump voter, ladies and gentlemen. This is so bizarre. But you know what? We're gonna keep, because they're absorbing what we're saying. Good morning, Jim. How are you?
Hola.
Hola.
How are you?
I am doing great. Even better now that you are here. How have you been?
Oh, I'm okay. I've been waiting for you to come on, man. I said it last night after we all watched it together on
Yeah.
our live. I can't wait till Zeus is live tomorrow.
Right. Thank you. I mean,
I
I was so
mean-
excited to get out here and talk about it because it was like I did not expect that. And it was such to me so rewarding in the middle of everything going on. It was so rewarding, right?
Oh my gosh, culture, cognitive direction of how the show should go based on what do I want to touch in people's minds, not just creatively, but politically in the world. Like, how is this impacting every single American citizen? Not only did they, from start to finish, and I love Bad Bunny, the whole show was perfection. But let's give our props to Coco Jones and the Black National Anthem.
Oh yeah,
Let's
yeah.
give her.
Go ahead, let's give it to her. Go ahead, we got to do that. Sorry, but yeah, you're totally right. Amazing.
Yeah, let's give our props to Charlie Puth on the national anthem. Didn't overdo it, didn't underdo it. His ability, his savant music talent, and you could see him feel not only the music but the flyover at the end where he literally looks to the sky, and when the last plane is coming up over, he turns to follow it. Brilliance. Brandy Carvel, Green Day, perfection musically to the end. You didn't just have Ricky Martin, Lady Gaga, Jessica Alba, and Cardi B. You had Young Mike in the audience. You had a multitude of people. And people have to start understanding that this is what we talk about, how creativity and the arts is what makes the world go around. Because no matter who you were, no matter what the political spectrum, you can't tell me you didn't move when you heard the music from the very first beat. How he represented all of the little things, the store, the taco vendor out of LA that was harmed. That gentleman was there. Those were all real businesses that he identified. That wasn't some made up thing that he did. All of those people that he repped were real businesses in Puerto Rico, Los Angeles, New York, all of them. You have to think of the brilliance of this man. And now let's talk about in the background, because Grant Guerrero was the orchestra leader. Grant Guerrero has his own story out of Nashville. Director. People don't even know who was directing that music. We're not even talking about the people. That's okay. Can't hear you. No sound.
Oh, I say, my bad. Please go.
Well, that's okay. And then when you have the gentleman that he came down in the tuxedo is Carmen. I think it's Carmelo Enrique. I think is his name. He's a professor at Chicago University. He repped every single place that's been harmed by this administration. The little Easter eggs that he planted throughout the entire performance. No one's even talking about the fact that they wore all white. Everybody wore white because he's talking about unity and purity. Even the jersey he wore when he came out onto the field with the number 64, that was repping his uncle who played football. Nobody's talking about that. People didn't even notice the monochrome message on the back of his suit when he came out. And I'm sitting here just going, this is like brilliance. And there's going to be tons more that we probably didn't even catch. And although the little boy represented him as a little boy watching himself on TV, it also represented Liam Ramos, and it made everybody happy. And that's the thing. If you left feeling anything different than that, you're seriously broken internally. There is something wrong with you. that you haven't figured out that the division isn't on our side. The division is on the side of this corrupt administration and the people who are supporting it. And then he had to come out and post about it, this horrible thing. You know why he's so angry? Because nobody wanted him there. And it's not lost on me that the Seahawks dominated the Patriots. Wow. That is messaging in of itself. Dominated the Patriots. And we couldn't have lost at a better time.
Yeah.
Like the Patriots couldn't have lost at a better time. So I even give props to the NFL for not
some
backing
people
down.
don't like that though, Jim. Some people, they don't like they're Patriots fans. But I get what you're saying because when you just look at it from a political point, right? It's sad, honestly, but it does. There is some symbolism in this. To your point,
it's brilliant. I have it recorded. I'm gonna watch it again a couple of times because I know there's things I missed and people I missed, and
yeah.
I was on live. I have a few complaints about it. Like Calvin Klein wasn't repped in the show.
Yeah.
Like I would have liked to have seen more Calvin Klein, if you get my drift, ladies. You know what I'm saying?
Lord
I
have
would've
mercy,
liked,
please keep it clean.
But it's a family show.
Yes.
It's a family show. But we all put our underwear on one leg at a time. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Huge.
I know what you were looking for, Jim, but I would encourage you, the spirit is willing. And listen more to the spirit, because the flesh truly is weak, and if you allow the flesh to do that to you, Jim. So please stick to something a little more on the holy side. All right. And I'd hate to tell you
holy
that
would have been fine.
Lord have mercy. Hey, Takesha, you might need to talk to Jim, all right? Because obviously, like I said, lust is a strong feeling, and I don't promote that, but I understand it very well. All right, I do.
I can honor art in many ways, and that was perfection. On another note, let's just talk about the music itself by Bad Bunny and everybody complaining that they couldn't understand a single word, including the President of the United States. Yeah. He can't even understand his wife, so he should be used to that first off, because she don't speak a lick of English properly.
True.
But let's talk about how when the opera is in town, how all these top elites pay money to go listen to Italian opera that they can't understand a single word, and the women are there with their little binoculars, and they're crying and talking about the beauty of Madame Butterfly and how it's so moving, and they're just so emotional, and they don't know a lick of what's being sung. It's mind-boggling to me that now that it's in a Latin form of a beautiful Puertorriqueño and many others that represented yesterday, including Ricky Martin's song, which if you weren't moved by Ricky Martin, that beautiful soul, that there's a problem with you. And they want to constantly make it about language. They want to constantly make it when we know it's all about racism. It's all about hating and trying to divide us.
Yeah.
But the funny thing is we're all uniting under this man. We're all uniting under the music. We're all uniting under the culture that he brought yesterday.
Amen.
And I was very proud to be an American yesterday, watching what we watched in the United States of America.
Facts.
It was beautiful.
Facts. Oh my gosh. Jim. Y'all show Jim some love out there. Jim you're always dropping so much knowledge and so much perspective. I tried to cover as much of the symbolism as I could, but you always do an outstanding job. All right. So, but I did, Did you take a glance at any of the stuff happening at Turning Point? I was just curious of what is your assessment of that whole S show, right? To me, it was an S show, but I was very curious if you got a little time, but what do you think, do you think MAGA was truly thrilled with that?
You're talking about that booger sugar mess we saw on the stage?
Yeah.
I don't think there's enough booger sugar in the world to make anyone forget that mess. That was messy.
Wow.
Those cut off jeans and that, all I could say is that when I watched it, and I said this to someone the other day, what I was expecting was hot dog water, Coors Light, and vomit, because that's what I smelled watching it. It was
wow.
It was messy. And
oh my God.
And let's just,
Do you
he didn't even have the mic up. He didn't even have the mic up to his mouth. The music was playing in the background.
Wow.
They had no license to even run it. They couldn't stream it. It had to be pre-recorded.
Wow. Oh my gosh. So how would you rate, because I know we gotta move on, but seriously, in terms of what Bad Bunny did and then what they did over there at that ridiculous place, how would you rate Bad Bunny's performance in terms of it being a good show and in terms of it representing America?
It's off the charts. There's no denying that everything in there was about unity and love and compromise and confirming that we come in all shades, color, creed. We love because we are American citizens and we welcome the migrant.
Yeah.
I mean, the messaging was beyond. It was a movie in 15 minutes. And here's what I even loved more about it is he didn't have to sing for 15 minutes straight. He had enough clarity that he needed to transition between acts, and he brought other acts in. He brought in Lady Gaga.
Yeah.
He brought in the softness of her talent. He brought in Ricky Martin. He knew to call on his friends, his very famous, beautiful, talented artist friends, and he said, "Will you be extras on the patio of the Casia? Would you do that? Would you sit there in the casita and just dance to the music?"
Yeah.
Like the brilliance of that is like off the charts.
Yeah.
How many people do you know that they call elite, right?
Yeah.
Would just show up without a payday. Those people didn't get paid to be on that stage.
Wow.
They came there to help support their friend, and that's what it's about.
Thank you. Thank you.
That is what it was about.
Thank you.
I do want to shift a little bit to breaking news. If for those of you who aren't listening to the news these days, which is part of the problem in this country, you're falling into fascist ideology by not watching the news. James Comer and our congressional people deposed Ghislaine Maxwell, and would you be shocked to find out that she pled the fifth?
Wow. Why she has nothing to hide. I just had to do that. Didn't Trump say something very profound? Only guilty people plead the fifth. Didn't Trump say something like that?
He did say that.
Yeah.
He did say that.
Mhm.
He did. And then she asked for a commutation from Trump after pleading the fifth.
Wow. I mean, I'm not shocked, to be honest with you. Demons will be demons, Jim. We're not really shocked, but it's unfortunate, again, that while that's happening, you'll have the sitting president complaining about Bad Bunny's performance not being appropriate for children. Give me a break. All right, but we're going to move it on.
And
All right. Oh, you got something else real quick?
Yeah, so in the coming weeks, you guys have to be prepared for 5 more depositions of the Clintons and several others. But you know who's not being interviewed? Donald Trump. You know who else isn't being interviewed? The Commerce Secretary. You know who else isn't being interviewed? Any of the people identified on that list that have a hand in the government. No, Elon Musk is not either. Isn't that ironic?
He said
that
he'll
we
pay
have
for anyone's legal defense if they can, if they get accused or if they start speaking out about Jeffrey and they get sued. He said he will pay their legal expense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you have to pay for other billionaires' legal expenses because you got all the money you got from this administration. Everybody needs to constantly be reminded about how Elon Musk became a billionaire. Those subsidies are our tax dollars that the U.S. government gave Elon Musk. That's how he is a billionaire. Just SpaceX alone, I say it all the time, $38 billion with a B in subsidies for SpaceX alone.
Sad.
You know the thing that keeps getting sent up into the air and exploding? Yeah, we're paying for that. We're paying for him to play NASA. We already have a NASA. We don't need SpaceX to do anything. And we've allowed this man to run rimshot over the entire country. And nobody seems to care about that. That we are allowing this criminal, because he said it himself. If Kamala Harris or the Dems got into office, he was going to prison. He admitted that. Steve Bannon said the same thing. They admitted it. They tell on themselves, and you guys are still out there supporting this guy.
Sick.
I don't understand it.
They're sick, Jim.
I don't understand it.
They're sick, but you know what? I do believe we're going to cure it, and you got the right recipe because we're going to continue to promote unity and love on this platform, even if it it makes them run away. But because we know that's going to save this country. All right, but listen, we're going to move it on, my good friend. All right, but ladies and gentlemen, give Jim, the beautiful Jim, a huge, show her some love, honestly. She gets up here and gives us so much. A huge round of applause, all right? No lies detected. And now, are you going live later today, Jim? I know you go. That was one more question.
Yeah, I usually go around 10 a.m. 10 a.m.
All righty then. Well, ladies and
I
gentlemen.
have one more thing. I
Yes.
have one more thing to tell you, and then it lost my mind. See, my old brain, my 50-something-year-old brain just went.
Keep it going.
Oh, you messed me up with your beautiful sound effects. It was something really important, and it had to do with what Antifa said. Oh, Trump claiming that one of his staffers did that.
Oh, yeah.
Wasn't it Trump? Wasn't it Trump who said nobody writes on his Truth Socials or any of his online posts but himself?
Facts.
Wasn't that Trump who said that? Too?
Facts.
That he alone is the one who writes those posts. America, start paying attention. Start paying attention. That wasn't an accident. That was an intentional racist attack on a former sitting president who he can't hold a candle to. He will never be Barack Obama. His wife will never be Michelle Obama. They are a class act of education, dedication, and absolute perfection. And they will never, ever, ever be them. And that is why they constantly have to attack them.
Amen.
Because the Trump administration is crap. A pile of doo-doo.
Amen.
Love you.
All right. You too, ladies and gentlemen. Jim. No lies detected. And she's spot on. The Trump administration got to go. They are, words vile and disgusting. All right. Seriously. No, anyone still supporting Donald Trump, they're vile and disgusting too. And that's why they're afraid to take accountability for it. Seriously, if you're a Trump voter, identify yourselves in the comment section. Put a 1 in the comment section. We've heard only from radical leftists today, including myself, right? So I'm just wondering where are these people out here who claim that they're really thrilled about Donald Trump? Tiny Tank Top, people don't like you. You don't have the poll numbers. You know that? No one likes you. But I'm probably the one. You know what I found out? Tiny Tank Top Tim tells people, ladies and gentlemen, he actually tells them he has a black friend, and then they say, "Well, who is it?" And then he points to Big Zeus, and I'm like, they have no way, number one, to validate that, but then number two, I'm not your friend, bro. But it's sad that I am someone you would consider your friend. Because that tells me a lot about the people in your life that you consider friends, and it's actually really embarrassing, Tiny Tank Top. Now that I say that, you can't use and he's probably doing it, now that I think about it, to try to get all kinds of perks and benefits, because there are perks and benefits to knowing Zeus. Tiny Tank Top Tim, this is low. This is low for you. This is low, bro. This is lower than what you told me you did when you went to college. You remember that time you told me you went to college and you said, I don't listen to the professor anymore because he's a liar. I said, well, how did the professor lie? And he told me I was there to learn. And I got up out of my chair and I left immediately. I said, but he was telling the truth. He goes, no, you don't go to school to learn, Zeus. And I said, wow, something's really wrong with this guy. So ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and warm up the lake of fire for Tiny Tank Top 10. He doesn't understand you do go to school to learn, and then he needs to understand that I'm not your friend, dude. Ladies and gentlemen, you know what we got to do. And I can do that.
Silence. You MAGA.
I haven't had one of those in a while. It feels good. Someone said, how does it feel, Zeus, to send every day you send these demons straight to hell? How does it feel? And, they say, you're not a God in the Bible. You should be ashamed. And I say, actually, it's the best thing that I can do. It's the safest thing that I can do. All over the country, you hear people in these town halls, MAGA, and they're getting booed and shamed. I said, where do you think they learned to do that stuff at? It came from Big Zeus, because that's what you have to do. And what it does, when you hit them with the boos and the shame, you know, the emperor has no clothes. You know how that goes. It literally happens right there. All of a sudden, they realize that the lies don't work. That's what the boos and the shame. And you can't even get sued for it. You can't get sued for it. They can't put you into jail for it. It was the most genius thing that I thought of doing, because I get tired of arguing with these people. You know, they're bold-faced lies. They're bold-faced liars. They'll pivot and they'll talk about everything other than the subject matter at hand. It's not that I don't want to talk about all the former presidents. There's only one. Why do you only want to talk about, this is what they say, why do you only want to talk about Donald Trump and the Epstein files? And MAGA seems to think that that's a big gotcha moment. The reason we're talking about Donald Trump is because he's the president. It's that simple. It's not saying I have given everybody else in the pad in the files. It's not saying I'm giving them a pass. No. The main issue here, and this is why I say this is a national security matter on so many levels. I don't want to be in a country. I don't want to be a citizen of a country where the leader of the country is a known P3DO or someone protecting known P3DOs. It really disturbs me. Yeah. So that's why I put so much attention onto him, right? You can say I have TDS all you want, but let's not pretend like when Biden was in office, you didn't have a case of BDS. I was actively on this app, and all of my friends, we actively defended the things that Joe Biden did. We're aware that Biden has a checkered past. No one's perfect, but we were actively combating the misinformation out here. And that's why we had to do it, because he was the sitting president. But y'all got you who you wanted. You got what you voted for, right? So do not ask me. And I got to say this, because when I show up in these red spaces, they don't like when I only talk about Trump. Then don't bring me up. Especially Blaga, because you know better. Blaga knows better. That's the part that gets to me. And anybody that's a person of color or any women, y'all know better. But you want to gaslight me into believing that you really support the things that Donald Trump says. You don't. Because the moment we call out something, you know what you do? Laken Riley. Oh, what was the problem with Laken Riley? An immigrant did something harmful to her. Okay, so you got a problem with people doing harmful things to women? You really do. No, say it with your chest. You have a problem with people doing harmful things to women, right? MAGA, you do. This is MAGA. Yes, Zeus. Well, why'd you vote for the demon in the White House? Oh, I know how to set aside a person's bad character and bad qualities and just look at the policy. I just love the policy. Okay, so you have that capability. That's a superpower you got, huh? And where does that superpower go when it comes to Laken Riley? What? Zeus, don't say that, because what are you going to say? Zeus, I know what you mean when you say that. What am I saying? I'm saying you can set aside all of that when you're dealing with people of color, MAGA, and we all see it. We all see it. You got men out here, especially men of color, in and out of the court system over you do something and they'll bring you in there and they'll just tear your life to shreds. But you got somebody out here actively involved in harming children, and they get a free pass. They get rewarded to be the president of the United States. How does that work? How are you in the Epstein files so many times and your reward is you are the president of the United States of America? And you want to get triggered by Bad Bunny? Give me a break. Ladies and gentlemen, let's warm the lake of fire up. I'm sorry, I had to go off and say that. But I got to do this. This is why I send them straight to hell and give them the booze and the shame. Because I want everybody, when you see these Trump supporters, just say this. And they'll know exactly. They know, okay. You got that from Zeus. And they know the jig is up. And no matter what you say, you're not going to change our minds. All right. Moving on, ladies and gentlemen. Do I have a Trump voter out there? Put a 1 in the chat if you're a Trump supporter. I'll try to get you up here while we still got some time. Put a 1 in the chat if you're a Trump supporter. Yeah. Do not let Trump voters babysit your children. I agree. These are immoral people. If they I could literally talk about this until I could literally send MAGA straight to hell, so to speak, until I get good and tired. All right. And I'm not tired, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Moving on. She fit. You're right. All right. Moving it along, ladies and gentlemen. You see, I'm a fair person, but I'm not going to let you lie to me and then be nice to you when you do it. I'm just not that kind of guy. I'll be nice, but I don't. Uh-oh. Good morning, Jose. 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 Maybe you didn't know. The guest request. Good morning. Who do we have? Who do we have next? Passion.
Oh no. I punched on the accident.
Okay. I got you out of here. Do not worry. Make sure you double check the guest request, ladies and gentlemen. Some of you are in the guest request and you might not even know it. All right, moving it along. All right, moving on to the next panelist. Who do we got next, ladies and gentlemen? Who do we got next? We can never get a MAGA demon up in here for some strange reason. Good morning, Huck. Welcome. Huck.
Accident.
Okay. All right, Huck. You guys got to be careful out there in the comment section. Seriously. Moving it along, ladies and gentlemen. All right, we're trying to get a good conversation before I get up out of here. Let's see. Who do we got next? Marcus White. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I can tell you right now, we must have. Reggie, welcome, Reggie. I haven't heard from you, Reggie. Oh, Reggie said no, accident. Okay, see. Let's see. All right, moving it along. Yeah, they're falling fast, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, this is one of the shows where MAGA knows they're pretty much cooked. Javi. Yeah, they're just going good. We're just going through them, ladies and gentlemen. Please bear with Big Zeus. We're just moving through some of the people in here. Hopefully we'll get to. I don't know. Let's see. Boom. Let's see, who do we have here? If you are in the guest request, some of you might be in the guest request. You may have accidentally tapped been tapping and you got in here. Double check. It's the new. Well, they were doing this before the new setup too. Robert Wilkins. Good morning. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you're right. We'll just clear the boxes, ladies and gentlemen. We'll just clear the boxes. Do not request. I'll tell you when to request, all right, if you really are serious, but I'm going to try clearing the boxes, all right, ladies and gentlemen, because I don't know. Some people are actually sitting guest requests and then they don't know that they're in the guest request, which burns valuable clock time, all right? So hold on. I'm clearing it all out, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on. Bear with me. All right, because you don't know if you're in the guest request, then that's a problem. Jesus Christ. Hold on. Ooh, let's see. All right. I thought I cleared a lot of things. All right. Let's move it on. Knuckles.
Yes, sir. How's it going?
I'm all right. How can I help you? Did you accidentally send a request or did you really mean to get in the box?
No, I really meant to come up here, sir.
Oh, okay. How can I help you?
Hey, I love what you do with Gem. You need to put the section called Daily Gems with Gem.
You like that? All right. Very nice.
She's amazing, sir. Listen, keep her on here. But anyways, I just want to say that thank you for having the show.
Okay. Well, thank you for coming up and saying that, ladies and gentlemen. It's a pleasure to meet you as well. Wow. Thank you, Knuckles. See, short and sweet, ladies and gentlemen. See. All right, moving it along. We're getting somewhere, ladies and gentlemen. We are getting somewhere. All right. Let's see. Who do we have next? Oh my gosh. W Knuckles. All right. Who do we got next, ladies and gentlemen? Blessings, are you there? Well, Blessings is not there. Victor.
Morning, Zeus.
Morning. How can I help you this morning?
I just want to tell you that you got a great show. I've been following you. I walk every morning, and I listen to you. I was never into politics, but I'm learning now.
Okay, all right. Well, listen, thank you so much, Victor, all right? I think I lost you, but I want to say thank you. Honestly, yeah, it does mean a lot to know that, you know, there are folks out there who are actually listening to these conversations and they're walking away, you know, with valuable information that, you know, might be able to help them actually become, you know, more involved in what it is that they're doing. So I appreciate that. All right. Moving it along. Yeah. I know a lot of us are busy in the morning time, and so I try to get in and out as quick as possible. User, good morning. How can I help you?
Yeah, got a day off today.
Yeah, okay, user. Fair enough, user. All right. Let's see. Moving it along. All right. Who do we have here? Jesse.
Zeus, how are you?
I'm doing all right. Jesse Speaks Truth. How are you, bro?
Doing good, man. Hey, I had like 2 examples of stuff I wanted to speak about, if you don't mind.
Go for it.
So last year, us white individuals couldn't understand what Kendrick Lamar was saying, and he was speaking English. And this year, we don't know what Bad Bunny was saying, and he was speaking English. Oh, excuse me, Spanish.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So question is I was born in Fort Liberty, and North Carolina refused to call it Fort Bragg. And I listened to some Appalachia individuals. So what about this? Can you understand this, Zeus? I gotta get the cow fed, and I gotta open the doors. I gotta open the doors. My wife's coming down the street. So wait a second. Wait, do we understand that?
No,
I'm just confused.
No, and I have pretty good. I'm pretty diverse, but what you just said, honestly, I have no clue what were you saying? What language was that?
Well, it's supposed to be English, right? You know, so
that was English.
I think, you know, Zeus, I talk about systemic racism a lot. I talk about inherent racism and what it means to my community.
Yeah.
And you saw it in full display with the indoctrination of white supremacy last night.
Yeah.
Just the automatic response, the unconscious response, just to someone who's not white.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with the language. We saw it with Kendrick Lamar. We saw it last night.
Yeah.
The harm that was done to Puerto Rican individuals last night is unspeakable, considering they're United States citizens. The federal government still owes Puerto Rico $86 billion from when Hurricane Maria and Irma hit in the same weekend.
Wow.
There's individuals that were out of power for over a year and a half.
Yeah.
And so to see representation for individuals who are close to me was amazing.
Yeah.
But then to get on social media and see the attack on individuals who are United States citizens is crazy. And I know it's just the America we live in.
Yeah.
And so anyone should support the browning of America. I think it's a great thing. They call me a race traitor for saying
or
that.
a white savior. You probably get called a white savior, right?
Yeah.
Or tether.
Yeah.
I've heard the new thing they're using the word tether. But to your point, right? They don't want to embrace the reality that, what did they say? Like 1 in 7 of people in the country are bilingual, or maybe even more, right? I mean, when you or they speak Spanish, I should say. What does that say? Why do you think they continue to try to exclude parts of America that doesn't fit their narrative? What do you think that is all about, Jesse?
Well, because at the end of the day, us poor whites, and I apologize for anyone who doesn't feel like they're poor, but you know what I mean, the non-top 1% white people.
Oh, okay, there you go. The non-top 1%. So Tiny Tim, top 10.
Yeah, they feed us the poison, and we use that on the individuals who are not white each and every day. We have to find a way as white individuals who are poor to come together and realize that classism is a huge thing, and that even though we have white privilege, sometimes that's just not going to work. And so eventually we're going to have to unify together and go against systemic racism. But for some reason, the indoctrination is so powerful that we continue to blindly follow rich white individuals each and every day.
Wow.
And it's a shame, Zeus.
Wow. It is a shame, Jesse. And so I want to, I guess, because I'm listening to what you're saying, but what do you think is going through the minds of these folks out here who aren't as knowledgeable as you are, right? But they could point out bad things like what happened to Lake and Riley, but when it comes to the Epstein files, they really have a hard time. You know what I mean? What's going on in their minds? How would you describe what's going on in those minds? Because to me, it's just racism, right? I'm like, the brain got to be working, the synapses got to be firing, but the outcome isn't on target, right? So what's possibly going on in those minds, if you could?
It's fear. So in 2033, we're going to be under 50% of the population, and that's very fearful. And this is why hate crimes, anti-Black hate crimes, anti-Asian hate crimes. It's why if you go on the FBI website over the past 2 years, it's increased. It's because white men are getting more violent. I make the claim that us white men are inherently violent based off of how we are indoctrinated as men through misogyny, misogynoir, and all sorts of aspects. So that's just what it is, Zeus. You're going to see a continuing violence of white men increase, unaliving our stepdaughters because the 49ers lose a football game. It's just those things you're expecting. I was expecting casualties in my race because the Patriots lost. I'm a huge Patriots fan, but you know what I said? I said, well, we lost. And kind of a good thing because Robert Kraft's in the E-Finals.
Yeah.
It's
wow, but that's you say you're expecting casualties because the Patriots lost. I didn't even think to take it that far, but that's honestly something that you have become familiar with in terms of understanding is a possibility of a possible outcome, right? Because to your point, the violence that continues to happen in those communities, in the white communities especially, right, it doesn't get as much attention, right?
Yeah. Yeah, well, we can see, Zeus. So, like after the execution of George Floyd here in Minneapolis, Internal Affairs did an investigation and saw that in Minneapolis, predominantly white communities were only patrolled every 34.5 minutes, and Black communities were patrolled every 3.5 minutes. And then they put that in the public. So now, us white individuals in predominantly white communities, I myself am not, but it doesn't. I don't ever other myself from other white people. That's why I say us and we a lot.
Yeah. I love it. Yeah, accountability. That's what it sounds like.
It gives us 34 minutes. We know we have 34 minutes to commit a petty crime, theft, larceny, whatever we want to do before a police officer even comes by our street. We now know we have 34 minutes to commit a crime. You think that we're not? You think that white people, we're not stealing chicken and beef from Walmart? We're not misscanning shit? Sorry.
Oh, wow.
We're not misscanning stuff.
Ahead,
you don't think that we're committing these problems?
Tell us what else. What else are y'all doing out there? If you don't mind elaborating, because quiet as
they're not gonna like it, Zeus.
No, I'm.
They're not gonna like it.
I'm all ears. I am.
Well, if we look at the studies, we will see that white men who marry white women have a 48% chance of getting a divorce. A white man that does not marry a white woman and marries outside of his race has a 44% higher success rate of having a successful marriage. And white women step out on their relationship more than any other woman. And so that makes white men even more insecure. This is why we go into Mormon churches and we drive through it with our truck, unalive 8 individuals and then burn it down.
So
we're told that we can save people. And when his son was sick, which is unfortunate, you shouldn't resort to attacking other individuals because you can't fix it. We got to be more intellectual as white men. We can't fix diseases. We can't cure the inevitable. We have to learn to work around it. And maybe if we had some empathy, our lives would be a lot better. Just my personal opinion.
No, you're right. Oh my gosh. W. Jesse, ladies and gentlemen. And I didn't twist your arm, honestly, because you know what they say. I'm forcing you to say these things. I didn't twist your arm to help make you say any of this. Am I correct?
No, of course not. And like I said, I am completely okay with the browning of America. I think it's necessary. If we look at our leadership, we've never had someone who is not white cause a major war. We've never had someone who is not white cost the American dollars or the American individuals. It's funny. We hate the Affordable Care Act so much. Then why do we still use it? Why do we still have it? Wait a second. All of the things that Obama did to help out individuals of the working class, why do we still use those things? Just, I advocate for Jasmine Crockett to win, and a lot of people ask me why, and I'm like, well, my favorite policy is that she's not white, and that's just the honest truth. Texas is 61% not white.
Yeah. Wow.
Zeus, Texas is 61% not white.
Okay.
Why does white individuals have to represent a community?
They can't. They really. It would be very I shouldn't say they can't. It would be very difficult for them, honestly, unless they are doing the work. And I can tell when someone's doing the work, sort of like you. You know, when you're speaking truth to light, you're calling out just bad behavior, and you don't have speed bumps, you know, so to speak, mental speed bumps when it comes to calling out things that are going on in your community, right? I say that's a start in the right direction. Y'all better follow Jesse, because he's telling the truth. He doesn't have to do this, but he doesn't get a lot of love from his community, all right? And and if they're doing the work, they love him, but they'll push back on everything he says because they're going, why are you sharing the cheat code? Why are you sharing the cheat code with everyone on TikTok like that? But he needs to share it so that we all are aware of it and we can move accordingly. All right, Jesse.
I appreciate you, Zeus. Happy Black History Month.
Thank you. Same to
shout
you.
out to all the Black creators on this app, Covey and Casso and Pep Talk. There's so many that you can listen to, and if you're white, you can't experience racism. Please listen to these individuals who speak on racism each and every day. How can you understand something without listening? How do you know? How do you know what racism is if you're not listening? If you're not reading Dick Gregory and all these other amazing writers who speak on the oppression that white people have exhibited for centuries. I just implore you to do that because I'm moving on, and any white person who doesn't want to, we're just going to leave you behind, or we'll just deport you.
Amen.
Have a good day, man.
All right, you as well, ladies and gentlemen. That's my good friend, Brother Jesse. No lies detected. Wow, there you go. All right. Well, listen, ladies and gentlemen, I realized that we cooked and booked this morning, and I'm looking in the audience. I want to talk to so many amazing people, but I just have to wrap it up and get up out of here. I want to give every single one of you who tuned in this morning. I'll be back tomorrow, maybe making some more modifications and tweaks like I am today, but I want to give every single one of you who tuned in this morning a huge round of applause. All right. Without you, this show wouldn't be what it is. Entertaining, engaging, and very honestly, very educational. No lies detected. All right. Seriously. Because, we got to keep getting the word out and doing everything in our power to push back against just the evil and vile conduct. There's just sick stuff that this administration is doing. All right. But then on that note, as you can see, thank you. No, W to the chat, too, because you could have been anywhere, but you're rocking out. You're hanging out with Big Zeus. Seriously. But this also means that we also got to give one last round of booze and shame. And you know who this goes out to, and they know who they are. The Zeus haters out there. They really just struggle with culture. No rhythm. No, they don't know how to dance. They can't cook good. They don't know how to cook good food. They know that they've been exposed to just some of the sickest people on the planet. There's no way that you can tell a person you're a good person right now and you're still supporting this administration, despite all of the information that's came out about just how disgusting that this guy has been. I just read the email about Jeffrey, because Donald Trump, he should, when he refers to Jeffrey Epstein, he should say Jeffrey, because in those spaces when they were hanging out, that's how he would talk to him. He would always be like Jeffrey, Jeffrey. But right now, because the cover has been blown, he's now referring him as Epstein or Jeffrey Epstein, trying to distance himself. But none of us are following for it, all right? But the people that follow Donald Trump, they know this is indefensible. And they're going to try to do everything they can to demonize the Democrats, women, people of color, to try to distract and deflect, but it's not going to work. But that's why I say they deserve, honestly, what we've been giving them, and we've been giving it to them for years. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in giving these demons one last round of, you guessed it, booze and shame. And that's Zeus News for you. Yeah.
Silence.
Thank you.
You MAGA.
That's a huge W, Zeus. All right, ladies and gentlemen, have a great rest of your morning. We are out of here. Enjoy the rest of your day. You know who this is.
What about body? Yeah.
Sing it.
What about body? Oh, what about body? Stole the whole election night. Read the votes dead tonight. Yeah, that ain't right. What about Biden? Borders wide open.
Have a great rest of your morning, ladies.
Millions crossing, drugs pouring. Where we begin? What about Biden? Gas prices sky, inflation wild. Economy dying, can't feed your child. What about Biden? Afghanistan mess left them behind. 13 soldiers gone. Joe acting blind. What about Biden?
Sing it, y'all, please.
What about Biden?
Sing it.
Yeah. What about Biden?
This is a sad song.
What about Biden?
If you think about it, this is sad. It covers everything MAGA cries
In the White
about.
House, call him Sleepy Joe, cognitive decline. Everybody knows stumbling words, just can't finish a sentence. Puppet on strings, who pulling the leverage? On his laptop, bullets of deals. China cash flow, million concealed. Family getting pain, influence pedal while we out here struggling, pockets unsettled. Weaponized Doja, FBI raids. Mar-a-Lago storm, but Hunter gets praised. January 6th, locking up brands, but Joe's pacified docs in his garage, man. Keystone cancel, energy weak. Depending on foes, gas $4 a week. Crime in the cities, soft on the streets, defund the police. Chaos
What
complete.
about Biden? Stole the whole election night. Read the votes dead tonight. Yeah, that ain't right. What about Biden?
What about
Wide
Biden?
open, let 'em flood
He left those borders wide open.
drugs pouring. Where
do we begin?
What about Biden? Gas
Gas
prices,
prices.
inflation wild. Economy dying,
Can't feed your child. Yeah. What about Biden? Sing it, y'all. This is sad.
left on behind.
13 soldiers gone. Joe acting blind. Y'all know this is sad music right here. Come on, y'all. Put your heart into it. Yeah. Yeah.
What about Biden?
Yeah. Sing it. Come on, y'all. What about Biden? Y'all know this is a sad song. What about him? Sing it. What about him? What Biden did, yeah. What about him? Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. 13 soldiers gone. Joe acted blind. All right. What about him? Y'all have a great rest of your morning. I'm out of here, all right?
Tuxedos and gold.
Used to hustle in the street, dodging blue lights. Now I'm in a three-piece campaign through the night. Got the Rolex, ticking nights on my cufflinks, talking politics.